Manchán Magan is our guest this evening, and Manchán is one of Ireland's best and best-selling authors, and we're going to ask Manchán some questions about books and reading as part of Ireland Reads Campaign. Manchán, do you have a favourite book, and why that book?
A favorite book of all time? Actually, I do. I thought I was going to have to say no. I think it has to be a book by a Welsh anthropologist, which doesn't sound great, who spent all his time in Queen's University, E.S. Evans, and it's called Irish Folkways, and was written in the 1950s. And if you want one book that will just get you so giddy to rethink about Ireland in an entirely way, it's this E.S. Evans, E and then Estyn, E-S-T-Y-N, Evans, Welshman. God, he's got such great concepts. He has this idea about the Irish cottage was built with where the man would always sit on the right-hand side of the fire and the woman on the left-hand side of the fire in the cottage. So that, and then the door with relation to the fire, the door would be so that the woman on the left-hand side could see who was at the door, but if there was a dangerous person, because the man is on the right-hand side, he can intercept the woman. If it's a dangerous person, he can intercept the danger if the danger is coming for the woman. And then the cradle that the crane that the kettle stays on always swings out towards the female side. And not only that is there these right and left sides of the house, but then the woman at night, he claims, used to go out to the cow shed to if she had to relieve herself before there were lavatories. And then the man would go, so she'd go to Skibol na Mo, Tach na Mo, and then he would go out to the horse side, to the stable, to the horse stable, and she would go to the cow barn or the byre. And as he said, you get the same in Mongolian tents. You get the male side and the female side. One is the right, one is the left. And in Mongolian tents, the male side is called the horse side and the female side is called the cow side. He's got these brilliant theories. That's just one of them. But yeah, if you can get your hands on Irish Folkways, it was republished by Lilliput Press. And again, it's in all libraries. But any of the books by E.S. Evans in the library system, they will make you think about Ireland in entirely new ways.
And do you have a favourite book from childhood?
I do, yeah. That'd be the Robber Hotzenplotz. So it was a book that was originally written in German and then translated into many languages in the 1960s and all, originally. But then in the English versions came out in the 1970s, and there were about 4 or 5 of them, and they were based on Silesian folk tales, I think. In other words, if that's the right word, tales from the far east side of Germany, along the Czech and the Bavaria, the Czech border. And so there were these classic, like Punch and Judy stories that have been passed down for generations, and they were made into these beautifully illustrated book, the Robber Hotzenplotz. You can still get them. You know, they're not as accessible now, but they are still available online. They're still selling in Germany huge amounts.
And just a final one, be careful how you answer this. Do you have a favourite bookshop and a favourite library?
I mean, libraries have been genuinely the biggest positive resource in my life. So I don't have a mortgage. I live in Westmeath because I was able to, buy land in Westmeath and build my own house. And that was because I decided I was going to build a house from the belongings around me. And I was living in Dublin. So I went to the libraries in Ranelagh, in Rathmines, in Pembroke and in Ringsend, and borrowed the books to enable me build my own house so that I didn't have a mortgage. And then when I moved down to Westmeath, I transferred to Mullingar and Castlepollard Library. And again, every passion I've had, every yearning, I've never earned much money. I read voraciously, but I could not have afforded the amount of books that I read. Like every week I'm researching new things, and it's all thanks to Castlepollard Library and Mullingar Library. And I remember when I arrived here 20 years ago, the library system in Westmeath was just a mess. It was moody librarians. It was this negative place, as so many libraries were. And my God, they've been transformed. All the libraries around the country and the library system. So yeah, in terms of bookshops, just books in Mullingar I really like. And otherwise the Gutter Press in Dublin always have this lovely, quirky, personalized attitude that I really like.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks so much.